All right, guys. Jesus. Look, we warned you. Well, I don't know what else to say. We warned you. So, Donald Trump, when he was running this election, he very famously took $100 million from Miriam Adelson, who's the wife of the late Sheldon Adelson, big pro-Israel donor. Now, Sheldon previously had given Trump, I believe, $200 million. And, of course, there was quid pro quo on that all day long. I mean, this is why Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem, right? This is why Trump let Israel illegally annex the Golan Heights. This is why he did the Abraham Accords, which the whole purpose of that was a giant middle finger to Palestinians saying you're going to be occupied forever, go fuck yourself, right? It's all because Sheldon Adelson, pro-Israel donor, gave Trump a tremendous amount of money. Well, now Miriam Adelson is continuing down that path, gave Trump $100 million this last election, and the reported quid pro quo that went hand in hand with that was, now you need to let Israel annex the West Bank. I'm giving you this $100 million with the condition that when you're president again, you let Israel annex the West Bank. And I'll be damned if that's not exactly what we're in the midst of seeing. Okay, so from the Associated Press. Israeli tanks move into the occupied West Bank for the first time since 2002 amid growing crackdown. Israeli tanks have moved into the occupied West Bank for the first time since 2002, shortly after the defense minister said troops will remain for the coming year in parts of the territory and indicated that Palestinians who have fled cannot return. Where have we heard that one before? That is exactly what we looked at in Gaza. Associated Press journalists saw a handful of tanks move Sunday into Jenin, long a bastion of armed struggle against Israel. Israel is deepening its crackdown on the Palestinian territory and has said it is determined to stamp out militancy amid a rise in attacks. Now, here's the thing. This is incredibly misleading because the reality is Palestinians are defending themselves against Israeli aggression. And this sort of flips that and makes it seem like it's Palestinians who are the ones who are on the offense. It launched the offensive in the northern, well, I guess they used the offensive there for Israel, in the northern West Bank on January 21st, 2 days after the current ceasefire in Gaza took hold and expanded it to nearby areas. So that's another interesting point, is that you had the fake ceasefire deal with Gaza. And by the way, that's what it was. It was a fake ceasefire deal. And then the exact number of prisoners that they freed in the Gaza exchange, they went and took the same number of prisoners from the West Bank. And I shouldn't even use the word prisoners. It's the word hostages that belongs. So they free some Palestinians here, get more Palestinian hostages over here. This is who we're dealing with the Israeli government. Palestinians view such raids as part of an effort to cement Israeli control over the territory where 3 million Palestinians live under military rule. The deadly raids have caused destruction in urban areas. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said he and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the military to increase the intensity of the activity to thwart terrorism in all refugee camps in the West Bank. Oh, would you look at that? Yet another example of Israel doing violence against refugee camps and pretending that, oh, we're going after big bad terrorists, bro. We're going after Hamas, bro. Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, there is no Hamas in the West Bank? But they're still bad. These are still bad terrorists, bro. Jesus Christ. We will not allow the return of residents, and we will not allow terrorism to return and grow. Do you see what they're doing? This is a piecemeal approach, step by step. They are trying to ethnically cleanse the West Bank now and do to the West Bank what they already did to Gaza and steal that territory too. By the way, this story is nowhere near done. You just wait until what you're about to hear. Earlier, Katz said he had instructed the military to prepare for an extended stay in some of the West Bank's urban refugee camps, from where he said about 40,000 Palestinians have fled, leaving the areas emptied of residents. That figure was confirmed by the UN. So now, 40,000 Palestinians had to flee their homes in the West Bank. And Israel is saying, you're not going to be allowed back. Again, I wonder what plans Israel has for that area where 40,000 Palestinians had to flee their homes. I wonder. It's a difficult one to figure out, isn't it? The camps are home to the descendants of Palestinians who fled or were forced to flee during wars with Israel decades ago. Anyway, this goes on. I need you to understand what's going on here. And we should be perfectly clear-eyed about this. Israel did a genocide in Gaza, and they want to complete the ethnic cleansing in Gaza with the help of the U.S. government. They relentlessly bombed hospitals and schools and humanitarian aid organizations and women and children. They didn't allow in medicine. Kids were having arms and legs amputated with no anesthesia. It was a modern day, and I shouldn't use the word was. It is a modern day Holocaust. That's what we witnessed in Gaza. That's what's still ongoing in Gaza. They did a starvation strategy. It's amazing we can use these words, right? This isn't a strategy. This is war crime on top of war crime on top of war crime. The entire time, the United Nations, Amnesty International, every human rights group was looking at it going, holy fucking shit, what are we witnessing? Oh my God, this has to stop. Oh my God, you're killing people all over the world. Oh my God, what is this? Right? They proceed. No problem whatsoever. The U.S. keeps sending money. The U.S. keeps sending weapons. Under both Joe Biden and now Donald Trump is allowing even more. Saying, hey, go back to using those 2,000-pound bombs. We don't care. Kill all the civilians you want, right? And then Trump comes in and says, oh, we're gonna own Gaza. We're gonna take over Gaza. And they got brilliant beachfront property. We can make a nice hotel, casino there, something like that, bro. It'll be great. This is the conversation we're having. 1800-style imperialism and colonialism out in the open. And now Israel knows, hey, we got away with it in Gaza. The International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for us. And you know what? The U.S. said, we'll protect you. We'll sanction the ICC for doing their fucking job and calling a war criminal a war criminal. And so they got away with it in Gaza. Now they're going to do it in the West Bank. They're going to do to the West Bank what they already did to Gaza. And they feel like nobody's going to stop us. The ICC wasn't able to crack down on us. The UN wasn't able to crack down on us. The U.S. had our back every step of the way. Now they have their paid little bitch boy, little water boy, Donald Trump in there, who's going to let him get away with even more. And that's what we're witnessing. But I told you I wasn't done yet, right? I remember when we first were witnessing what Israel was doing to Gaza. And you started seeing these theories float around. And the theory was, hey, Israel in its heart of hearts, they want to create a greater Israel, which includes pieces of 6 of the countries in the region. This is their ideal. This is their dream goal, is to expand the territory. They want all of Gaza. They want all of the West Bank. And then they want more territory. Okay, ready for this? Netanyahu demands complete demilitarization of southern Syria. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Sunday that southern Syria must be completely demilitarized, warning that Israel would not accept the presence of the forces of the new Syrian government near its territory. Quote, we will not allow forces from the HTS organization or the new Syrian army to enter the area south of Damascus, Netanyahu said, referring to the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham group, which spearheaded the opposition offensive that toppled Bashar al-Assad in December. We demand the complete demilitarization of southern Syria, including the Kenitra, Dara, and Suaida provinces, the Israeli prime minister declared at a military ceremony. The same day al-Assad was ousted, Israel announced that its troops were entering a UN-patrolled buffer zone that has separated Israel and Syrian forces on the strategic Golan Heights since 1974. Israel seized much of the Golan Heights from Syria in a war in 1967, later annexing the area in a move largely unrecognized by the international community. Netanyahu said the Israeli forces will remain in the buffer zone for an indefinite period to protect our communities and thwart any threat. Israel carried out hundreds of strikes in Syria during its civil war, which broke out in 2011, mainly on Iranian-linked targets. After the lightning offensive that ousted Syria's longtime president al-Assad, Israel carried out hundreds more airstrikes on Syrian military assets in what it said was a bid to prevent from falling into hostile hands. So in other words, now they want to take South Syria. They're stealing Gaza. They're stealing the West Bank. And then they're also going to take South Syria. Every person who said, every step of the way, hey man, this greater Israel thing doesn't look like a conspiracy theory. It looks kind of like what's happening. They were right. They were right. Count us among the people who were right. This is a rogue nation. That's what they are. This is a nation run by criminals and thugs and gangsters. Let me be clear. There is no negotiating with Benjamin Netanyahu. That's not a thing. There is no negotiating with him. Benjamin Netanyahu deserves to be rotting in a prison cell from now until the day that he dies. That's what he deserves. Same with Ben Gvir, same with Smotrich, same with the top Israeli military officials. Every single one of them is a war criminal. Every single one of them should be locked up and the key should be thrown away. No questions asked. And then beyond that, the United States should be sanctioning Israel. And peace should be forced upon them whether or not they agree. I don't care about their input. I don't care about what their opinion is or what their take is. We've seen the polls. It was only, when we were months into the genocide, it was only like 4% of the Israeli population that said, you know, I think the IDF's going a little too far. They had already bombed countless hospitals, countless schools, cut off all food, fuel, and water to 2.3 million people, and you got the Israeli civilians going, oh, bro, I don't think they've gone too far. If anything, they need to go further. Okay, well then I don't care what you have to say. I don't care. We should sanction you. We should arrest all the war criminals in your government, and we should impose on you a peace deal regardless of what the fuck you think about it. That's the bottom line. Because clearly, letting you make your own decisions, look at what it's led to. Look at what it's led to. A modern-day Holocaust, which you want to double now by doing the same thing in the West Bank, and while you're at it, stealing more territory in South Syria. This is a rogue nation. This is, let me be clear, a terrorist state. That's what it is. That's what it is. And so it's time to fight back. But the fact of the matter is, they're not going to stop. And Donald Trump himself is facilitating it because he's bought by the Israel lobby, right? And the answer is going to be yes to whatever they want to do. The answer is going to be yes. And so this needs to be part of our massive movement against Trump, against Elon, against this fascist takeover. We need to rise up to fight the global fascist movement, because some of the leaders in that movement, it's Trump, it's Elon, and yes, it's Benjamin Netanyahu, and all of them need to be brought to heel. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.